Something really weird I've never done before.
Sure.
I have like double vision. I got my laptop over here, and we just let's see, did this actually work? Are we live? Yeah, so I'm streaming now at official Sacred Owls from my laptop, while over here I'm doing you. So it'll be cool to see like how good the audio is of you on that. We'll figure out a proper way to do it eventually. But for now, I'm banging on all cylinders. How you been, man?
Oh man, I've been just I'm so burned out from the Christmas and the New Year's. And by the way, it's nice to say Merry Christmas, or it's
Merry
nice to say Merry
Christmas.
Christmas and
Yeah,
Happy New Year too,
that's
right?
right.
Not just Happy Holidays, but it's great to be able. I feel like in 2025 we're going to be able to say that again without any problems, but you just never ever know. But it's good, man. It's but I'm so burnt out. I slept literally like about 12 to 14 hours yesterday, so I am just kind of wired up today.
Nice. That sounds
But I'm
that sounds
all
good.
back. Yeah, and cheers.
Cheers. That's right. You got
Cheers. I
your
got
wine.
my
It's my I'm
got my wine.
drinking. This is like ginger root water,
Mm,
like just water
okay,
with some ginger root in it, and a little bit of some organic carrot juice splashed in there. But it's
nice.
funny because it,
Okay.
it, it looks like like bourbon,
It
right?
does look
You
like, yeah, it
would.
looks like you got
It's the same
some
color.
after hours cocktail. But I got my Make America Great Again glass. You can't
Oh,
really
that's
see it unless I put it up there.
classy.
So I'm
That
all
is
classed up
classy.
here.
I tell
I'm
ya.
just ready for 2025, man. I feel like this has been a long time coming, and I want to enjoy these next 4 years.
Absolutely. I mean, well, I think this January 6th is a lot like Christmas for a lot of people here in the United States. Of course, Justin Trudeau stepped down, which was a nice touch. That was a nice stocking stuffer for this Christmas, January 6th. I wasn't expecting that, but Alex, yeah, he called that one, so another one for the tip jar of Alex Jones was right. And yeah, and I gotta say, very classy of Kamala. I'll never get it right. That Harris broad, she was very graceful, I would say, and having the entire crowd in front of her just like whistling and clapping at her defeat, which was like I thought she took, she could have had that resting bitch face she usually has, but good for her, Maybe she's a little relieved, is what I was telling Brendan earlier, that, she doesn't have to deal with Joe anymore. She can go on her, like, little book tour and, because she's going to have a book, first Black Woman VP, blah, blah. She's set. So she can actually just like be a drunk and kind of like go into the private eye a little bit. I don't think she has ambitions for continuing this new world order. What do you think?
Oh, that's a good question. I kind of think she's gonna maybe run for governor of California, is what I'm hearing, and maybe we make it
Okay.
Nicole Shanahan running against her, which was RFK Jr.'s vice president until Kennedy dropped out. So we may get some good things happening in the state of California. Obviously, you never know. We never know what's gonna happen. But I definitely think you are right on point. She was very gracious, and I was kind of surprised at that a little bit, understanding the way that the system works and how it worked with Mike Pence. It was a little bit different back in 2020. So she knows how to play this game, and the way that she acted to me actually shows that she is not done. She is not done. She's not ready to ride off into the sunset. She's not like the Nancy Pelosi where she ripped
well,
up the paper right behind Trump and all that stuff. I know it's a very different
I don't think she has
situation.
the dementia yet. I mean, she drinks probably a lot more than any of us, but Yeah,
That's
I
fun.
don't know. You have a good point. It's like I'm on the fence, but she's always been a wild card. She didn't really come out of nowhere, but she kind of did. And in looking like at her past, and she's just always like Johnny on the spot, kind of like ready to pounce. So she's definitely an opportunist. Um, yeah, we'll see. I was also in the back of my mind. I was like, it's going too smoothly. Like, there's no, big riots. There's no. We already had like the Trump Tesla explosion, and that's still ongoing. Like, and the facts of that case don't make any damn sense. And it just gets stranger and stranger. Apparently, he was patriotic, Trump supporting, InfoWars listener, blah blah blah. We can maybe get into some of that, and we need to talk about this book that I now that it's the new year and I got all that out of my system, I have to write this forward for you.
Yes.
And I have to read the latest draft and all of that. And we have to update the artwork a little bit because things have happened. So we have to have a new conversation about that. And it's just really interesting trying to capture a moment in like this ever changing geopolitical landscape, and especially Kennedy and Trump and everything around them. I mean, you started writing this book in a very different time before Maha existed, and now here we are. Yeah, you want to talk a little bit about that? Because I mean, it's been a wild ride.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So when I started this, it just seemed like we were going to get, Kennedy versus Trump. And actually, I think the
Hmm.
first title of the book was Kennedy versus Trump, Trump versus Kennedy. Well, who do you put first? Who do you put second? And everything. Like, Trump always wants to be first here, but I felt like Kennedy, he had to be first. Whatever the thing was, his name had to be first because the Kennedys were obviously around, way before Trump was. And there was something very special about RFK Jr. finally going in and saying, "Yes, I'm going to run for president," because he had been asked. This has been a long time coming, and for any Democrat, past, present, we always wanted a real Kennedy to get back into this race. So I was very happy, very shocked when Kennedy said that he was going to run against Joe Biden, which
Yep.
is very similar to what his father did, running against President Lyndon B. Johnson back in 1968. The similarities were very similar. Johnson wanted, he was similar to very similar. I guess that's a no brainer there.
This
But
guy writes books.
this guy thinks he writes books. He can't even get that right.
Oh, it's fine. Hold on,
But
hold on. Keep talking. Listen.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, so when you look at what RFK Jr. Senior went through, and how he said he was going to run against a sitting president, Lyndon B. Johnson. And then he said, "Hey, I'm gonna be." There it is. I mean,
Dude, I've
that was my
had this
first one
book
right
for
there.
years. When I met you, I think it was 2018, right? At the gates of the Grove.
At the gates of the Grove.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
handed me this book. It's
20.
funny. I was bringing over some stuff, moving a couple things around, and you can see this thing has like seen better days. This thing lived in the Almobile for years,
Nice.
and then eventually, so it's all scuffed up from just being, beat up in the van. But it's a good book. This is solid. I was born 9/11/83. 9/11/2001 was my 18th birthday, and
Wow.
18 is divided by 2 to get two nines, which is no, but it's a good book. So everyone, What is Truth? 9/11 by Greg Fernandez Jr. Man, he's been doing this for quite a while, and I'm honored to be doing the art for Kennedy and Trump, not versus Trump. So that worked
Yeah.
out nice.
That was.
It's a love story.
It is a love story, and that's
Valentine's
what I
is
was
right
hoping that
around
it
the
would.
corner. Get Kennedy in. When is this? When are we putting this book out? When's the
I'm really
deadline?
hoping. I'm really. I don't have a specific deadline. The drafts are even from what I've sent you. I have some updated drafts. I've learned more. I've learned more about the shooting. So there is probably another draft or two that I've done since then. But I am really hoping for the summer of 2025. That's my goal, is
That's
to make sure
reason.
that
Yeah,
this is
this
out.
year. You can't say 2025 anymore because like we're here now. Yeah,
I mean,
no,
this
that's
year,
good.
this
No,
summer,
it's an
yeah,
exciting
I
summer.
want to
That's
get it out.
fantastic to hear, and that's perfect timing. It gives me plenty of time to write the forward for sure. Because I want it to be
Yeah.
as current as possible when it comes out. I don't want to like start writing it too soon, and then it's dated. Now I gotta like rewrite the whole thing or edit it a bunch. Like it's like right, 2 weeks before we go to print, I'll like throw it in there, and it'll be perfect. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's great news. And with on the Sacred Owls front, with like the music and stuff, we're looking to be coming back hardcore this summer, and we're definitely going to be having a third installment of Tales of Terror, the comic book music anthology. I'm already talking with several artists that are like, Tales of Terror is coming back. That's right, 2025 is the year that we are getting Tales of Terror 3. Sacred Owls is working on all new material for that, but as well as putting out a full length album, Death to the New World Order, that I've been hinting at for years. We got Zorn on drums. We have the new Leah Lightning on bass, and she's already crushing it in rehearsals and stuff. So we're looking forward to having her have her debut. This is the first time she's
Wow.
been playing live out. She's been a bass player for a little while, but it's going to be great to to see this exciting new younger lineup that we have for Sacred Owls. So we're going to be doing all that, and looking to do some regional touring. I don't think we're ready to go to California just yet. The van is, I just can't get that bitch to drive straight. Like, I've replaced just about everything, and I've gone to like four different mechanics who are like, oh, like you have an old school like alignment, this and that. So it's like I'm not going to California again until she's driving Cherry, and I got her about like 90% there. So and I'm not driving back to California without Alamobiles. So by that point, it might be a flying vehicle, and I'll be flying over there. We'll see.
That's a long drive too, I think,
It's a
right?
dog of a drive, man.
Yeah.
And that second time we tried it, when that the what was it, the transmission just started bleeding out in the middle of the desert, and that was a whole saga. And we had to cancel Salt Lake City. We never made it to Salt Lake City because of that. That was awful. And the second time going to Denver, Colorado, but so that's why I want to make sure everything's tip top. We have a bunch of new gear. We've been testing it. We've been rehearsing. There's going to be new films in the background. I'm doing a whole like laser light craziness with it. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's really our victory lap, like because I don't think I'm gonna be doing an. I mean, I'm 41. I'm turning 42 this year. Like, I'm not gonna be like the Rolling Stones, like 70 years old, out there playing rock and roll. And this is probably like, come out to this tour. It's probably gonna be the last Sacred Owls tour. It started in
Don't say that.
2009. Well, you get them. I have
You
to show
never
up to
know.
it. Well, if we get a big enough turnout, then I might be like, all right, maybe we'll we'll see, like. But that's the game we play as rock bands. You got to keep the interest going.
Oh
But
yeah, I get that. But there's also a love for it too. I mean, the reason why you did it, the reason why you keep doing it, is because you have a certain love for music, whatever it is. And
absolutely,
I
yeah,
haven't, I
no,
haven't, I haven't made any new music since probably 2020. But I still write. I still got some projects sitting in the background. There's always still something that I always still feel like, man, if I could just get out there and I figure, hey, if I can even at some point, once the kids get a little bit bigger, and I can go out there to some local coffee shops or some local whatever open mic night things or something like
oh,
that.
I would
There's
love to see that.
always
See you doing
there's
some of
always
that.
something.
Definitely, if you ever do it, film it. Like, I know it feels weird as an artist. Like, even myself,
It
like
does.
being that
Yeah.
fucking douche, like at the open mic night that like
Selfies.
sets it. Well, he sets it. You have to set your cell phone up I have like a little
Right.
tripod fold out thing that you put on the bar, and of course someone's gonna knock it over. So you got to bring tape and you got to bring napkins to wipe that shit down because so the tape sticks, or else you're not gonna get the footage. It's gonna be like 5 seconds and derp, like so. I've had to deal with that for years, but really for a long time, like I was the worst about like actually like I would get everything set up and it would look awesome and sound awesome and stuff and we'd play great. And it's like no one recorded it. So it's like, did it ever happen? It's in this like digital age, like you really just have to record everything all the time. And but I got like, like
That's right.
multiple pairs of spy glasses now. So that really comes in handy too, because a lot of times you don't want to be holding a camera or setting it up for a shot. And now you have to be in the frame of that shot. Like right now, like I have these two cameras. I'm like looking at you. And I want to like be equal about it because I'm gonna take this and edit it later for other things. And
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
but yeah, the spy camera glasses are great because like it's very passive. Like if you just put them on and then do other stuff, it's like you have that other camera angle that if the cameras are pointed at you, now you get to see what you were looking at. And I want to get more cameras this year. I want to invest in good. Like, is GoPro still good? I'm such a boomer. I'm out of it. Like, what cameras are you
Yeah,
using?
I'm kind of out of it too. I got this one camera here, and because I wear glasses, every time if I move up here, you can see like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
glare. So I gotta move down a little bit here. I'm working on the background lighting and everything. So it's just it's all a work in progress. The camera that I'm using right now cost me 30 bucks here. So
Oh, okay.
obviously I'm not doing exactly what I should be doing here too. But I got to get some better computers so I can get some more processor speed and everything. But I just like, hey, you know what? Whatever you got, do it. And that's what us boomers do. We just do it, and
That's right.
we'll figure it out later.
I signed up for the AlexJonesStore.com affiliate program. Have you been buying any of that stuff?
No, I haven't really been on Alex. I haven't been on that for a long time. So tell
Oh
me
man,
about
so
it.
pretty much where they're at now because of all like the court hearings with like the Sandy Hook stuff and the parent is really a CIA op and really who's behind that is this like Everytown organization and it's pretty much Michael Bloomberg working with the Onion and they are like behind like bankrolling this like Everytown thing in order to buy out Infowars, and they were trying to buy Alex Jones' name and everything. So like there was all this controversy. They were actually they came in without a court order, shut down Infowars about like 2 months ago, and so they were off air and like Alex saw that coming, so he set up like AlexJones.network and in another building right down the street with like a smaller sound stage. It's fucking hilarious. It's like something out of a movie or something. And so like they went down the street. They were only down for like 2 hours, but like they took Infowars.com and Band.video down. So like there's been this crazy thing. So they set up the AlexJonesStore.com, which isn't them. It's a third party vendor based out of I think out of Arkansas. And they make T-shirts and posters, and they have all the supplements and all that stuff. But it's like the Onion and Bloomberg, even if they do win this thing that's still in the courts, like Infowars, the name, the brand, might actually at the end of the day they had this like it was like an auction but it was like breaking all the rules of what an auction is. So like they came out early on the media and said be like, oh yeah, we bought Infowars. No, they never did. They like strong armed and like committed felony trespassing essentially under the false guise of like, oh yeah, no, it's a done deal, and the fuck it wasn't. The judge was pissed. And it's funny because that was the last thing that we posted at DarkDox, and then we got a bunch of DDoS attacks, and like now our post function doesn't work, and like we're trying to fix DarkDox again, and we might have to rebuild it again. So that's why you haven't seen any new posts at darkdox.com. Anyone that fucking cares that's watching this right now, but yeah, that's we got some new guys in, and like they've definitely helped out and got it up. It was the website was down for quite a while, and it's like I have a new daughter and a new job, and like I'm doing a bunch of I have my hands in a bunch of things right now. I'm working on Sacred Owls. I'm working on all kinds of stuff, and but like Dark Ducks has been a priority, and like on our Signal group, Dark Ducks Network and stuff, we've always been like sharing stuff and trying to get things working again. Noah's been a huge help, definitely, before we got the new guy on. But yeah, so that's where we're at with all of that. And hopefully we'll get this sorted out soon. I'm ready to go scorched earth and be like, because there was a bunch of like they were trying all kinds of stuff, and we had corrupted files, and like it's they're good. Like we have like people that are very smart and like hackers and stuff, and information security specialists and stuff, but like it's like a cat and mouse game, and like I'm just over here being an engineer and like trying to be a dad and doing my thing. It's like, can you guys just stop? Like this is an open message to like what are you trying to like, are we really that big of a threat? We get more people trying to come in our back door than we get front end traffic. Like seriously, are you that fucking afraid of me like having a platform to share stuff? Like it blows my mind, man.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since you've had what GregFernandezJr.com and stuff. Do you have a main website these days?
No, I got the. I mean, it's always been the WordPress site. So I had the where like if you go to gregfernandezjr.com or .org, it would redirect you to the WordPress site. But I haven't really done that much with it lately. I've really been trying to hammer out this book. Like
Yeah.
you said, I got work, I got family, I got kids, and any of my extra time has really been on this book, trying to really get this book going. And because things changed, because it turned away from Kennedy versus Trump to Kennedy and Trump, that really had me looking
Rewrite.
back. Right? I mean, it really did. But it was such a great experience that yeah, I do believe that I am kind of at that point now where everything is pretty much done. I
Nice.
just gotta kind of rewrite it. Have Catherine, who is helping me to like edit any typos, to grammar, all that stuff to make sure everything looks good, and so that's what she's helping me with. She's a big part of that process, and then just kind of working the whole story through to make it. The biggest problem I'm having right now is there's so much information, and I want it to be a story that flows. So what's probably going to happen is it's probably going to end up being the book is probably going to end up being a lot shorter than what I had wanted to. But the main thing is to show the story of Kennedy's run, Trump's run, then it cuts to Trump being shot at, and how everything changed from that point. Because
Mm-hmm.
really everything did. I mean, the media, everything just seemed to change from that point where this was like a wake up call. And I believe this was God. This was God intervening here, just doing what God does, and just showing us here at this point that there's a reason for Trump. He needs to be the president at this point in time. And it is not a satanic thing. I don't believe there's some big satanic conspiracy to get Trump into office. I think it's kind of something else.
Is
It's
anyone
actually a
saying that?
conspiracy.
That's a hot take.
Yeah, I think so. I think I've been hearing some of that, and I've been trying to stay away from a lot of the social media stuff too, so I don't get influenced by that. But you still have the same people that are just always doom and gloom, and the world is gonna is bad, and they're bad. This person's bad, and nobody's good. And so
Yeah,
you
I
hear
mean,
that, and
there is some of that kind of like they call it the purity spiral, where like they're just like they're spiraling out on it just has to be perfect, and Trump's never been perfect, definitely,
no,
but and frankly, none of us
far from
are.
it.
Like, let's be real,
I'm not.
I know
Yeah,
I'm not, it's like I'm definitely, I got sins that, I beg forgiveness for, every day and I just try to do better. And I think we can't be casting the first stone. We can't be so judgmental. And they're definitely being very judgmental of Elon right now, which he's these H-1B
oh yeah,
visa situation. And I understand really both sides of that issue. And Owen Schroyer had a good take on the War Room today. He was like, "Let's keep those visas, but make it open to Americans, and then if an American is willing to do it, give them priority over a foreign. That way, it's kind of like everybody win." And I see what he's trying to do there, and that's not a bad idea, but like things like that. Right now, I mean, we have some people that are just like close the borders, deport everyone right now, and all of that. And I think that it's understandable because like they've literally been pouring over the border by the millions, and then you have all these dead
yeah,
children and raped women and children and the trafficking and the drugs and the violence, and it goes on and on. The Colorado apartments, they're eating the cats, they're
yeah.
eating the dogs, the
They're
Haitians,
eating the
like
dogs. That's
I
crazy.
mean
That's
it's
wild. But you gotta close the borders. You have to close the borders. But what I liked about Tom Homan, who is coming in here, is saying, "Look, we're gonna start in the prisons." They're like, there are people in our prisons right now. All we need to do is go
that
into their
are
prisons and
illegal
take
that
them
got
out.
arrested.
Yeah, yeah. So you don't have to
You
worry
see,
about
that blows me
separating them
away.
from their
Like,
children.
they should have never even been there. It should be U.S.
It's
policy. And
crazy.
frankly, every other country is if you are illegal and you're not a citizen, you don't get the privilege of our prison system, which is a fucking nightmare, But like, you don't like if you get processed and you're in jail, you get arrested. Now you're in that local jail cell. It should be from there contacting immigrations and customs enforcement, and then them dispatching an officer and bringing you over to detention and removal operations DRO over at Department of Homeland Security. We set this up after 9/11 for this. And I was against it, and I still am. The Patriot Act is totally unconstitutional, and it's fucking horrendous, but it's in place. We should fucking be. We have DRO. Like, let's use it to get these people, and then that's it. You just like you send them back over, the nearest port of entry. I don't know what do you think is the best course of action for this?
Yeah, I think the first thing is I love how he wants to start with the getting people out of our prisons. I think that's a great thing because you're not going to have those photos of parents being ripped from their children or anything like that. I think that is the first thing. Well, actually, the first thing is just close that border and say no, nobody's getting in. You want to show those images of all those people and all those families and children that are trying to get into the country they
Yeah.
can't get in. Okay, great.
And you
Let's
can
let's
do it in
let's
a
show
way
this.
that's not like violent and like you literally you have a lot of law enforcement, yeah, arms. You set up a bunch of cars that are just literally blocking any of like the big vulnerable points of entry where they're bleeding in. It's not across the entire border. It's really like maybe a dozen or so specific points. So if we focus all of our border patrol there, and then maybe even recruit some National Guard to get things started. Continue construction immediately of the wall, of course.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it
But they already have that. They already have all of that going on. When they process these people and they process these children, if you watch it, it's a short documentary by RFK Jr. I forget what it's called. Not Caravan to Midnight. That's another thing. But it's something to midnight or whatever. Midnight at the border, I think is what it's called. And he documents this, and it's like there's a whole process for these children. They have special rooms for these children that are coming in because they have been raped, because of
right,
all of the bad things that have happened to these children, and they put them in these special rooms to comfort them, et cetera, et cetera. And then we hear these reports of 38,000 children that are missing, or probably more. There's so many children that come into this country and then they go missing. How the hell does that happen? Okay, I mean, it is crazy that we even have children that are born in this country that go missing. You're talking about children
right.
that are coming into this country and then go missing, and you're going to tell me there isn't something going on? There isn't
I
something
mean, more than
weird.
that, just like they're showing up with adults and they're saying in their native language, "This is not my parent. My
Yeah,
parent is this person in this town, and I know her cell phone number. And can I
right,
call my mother to prove to you that I'm being kidnapped currently, right now, Mister?" And these
right,
border patrol agents and CIA agents and stuff are told, no, they can't call. No, that they go, whatever person they're with, that's who they stay with. I mean, these people need to be put up on charges because they're accomplices to child sex trafficking and more than
yeah.
sex, murder, organ harvesting, you name it.
Yeah, all of that, and it's so simple. It's so simple how you can stop this at the border. Yes, you still have to deal with all of the other things that are happening when all the people that are inside of the border, but they never talk about the fact. Well, the first thing you would want to do is to stop them from coming in, stop the bleeding. Then you can put some bandages on those people that are bleeding here. But we have so many issues and we have to start there. They keep talking about like the government, like Trump's government is going to come in. They're going to parachute into schools and take people, rip them from their schools, break down doors, and take people out of their houses, which are all things that we see that our soldiers were trained to do in other countries, in foreign countries. These are tactics that they are talking about that are real tactics, but they're not using them in the right way. They're not talking about how these tactics are going to be used. If the government is going to come in as a police state, yeah, they could be knocking down your door, they could be kicking down your door, take you and take everybody, put a bag over your head, and take you off into some FEMA camp. Well, that's what they want people to think that they are doing with these people that are coming into this country who should not be here. But it is not true. There are so many lies, and what we're going to see in this first year is how does the media actually react, not react, how do they report what Tom Homan is going to do as he starts to take these people who should not be here in this country and removes them. Because he is not only saying that it is not just the people who should not be here. First, we're going to start with criminals. He makes that very clear, and he is a very smart person to say we are going to go into the prison systems, which the media is not talking about. He is going to say we're going into these
It's
jails,
a smart
and we're
move.
going to
It's
take
definitely the
those.
first in the
It's a yes,
triage. You
right,
and once you get that going, and then you see the positive results, and then on the news show like how much money it's saying that saving the U.S. taxpayer, they're gonna be like,
yeah,
oh, okay, well, it makes sense. All right, well, they're doing it humanitarianly. Well, they're criminals anyway. And then once they kind of get that going, it's like, all right, well, yeah, now anyone else that gets convicted, all right, well, now just anybody that crossed illegally, anybody that's not supposed to be here. And what do you
right. And wasn't it crazy how you had mayors and you had these politicians, these left wing politicians, coming out and saying that we are going to stand by our people. These aren't your people. These are not people who should be here in this country. You're going to stand, if you're going to stand by the people, look at the people that show up to your town halls that say, get these illegals out of our country. Why are they not standing by those people? What do they benefit from having people who should not be here in this country? What do they benefit from having them there? And it's common sense. I mean, I don't have to tell you. We all know. There's so many different things where they could benefit from that, but this is an invasion of our country.
I mean, they're either very dumb and just being told what to do by their plantation overlords on the Democratic plantation, or they're genuinely evil and they want to destroy the United States. They want to destroy, they hate the patriarchy. They feel that a bunch of rich white men that didn't want to pay taxes founded our country. That whole meme, and I mean, honestly, they don't go much deeper than that. Like, whenever you try to talk to them, but it's like, about the nuance of all of it and how, like, a lot of, like, their assertions and reasons for doing a lot of these things are really logical fallacies and kind of straw man arguments. And they have a lot of disinformation from a lot of, bad sources. They haven't really spent the time to look at all the sides of all of these different psyops and what were the agendas and who was behind it and why. And, so I think it's up to us elders of the internet to really just be like, it's okay, but you missed all of these other things over the past like 20 years that have happened and make you wrong about your stance on geopolitics or any of these issues. I feel like the Generation Z, the ones that are just now becoming adults, they're on our wavelength, whereas like the what do you call them, God, I sound old. But no, you have like, so there's Generation X, and then there's the millennials, and we fall under that category, right? And then there's Zoomers, right? Generation Z, that's what came next. Now you got alphas. Like, the alphas, I feel, are on our wavelength, and the Zoomers, I feel like they got programmed successfully. Those are the ones that like are pushing the mask stuff. They're wearing masks now. They're the ones that are just hook, line, and sinker. Whatever the government says, that's what they're doing. They hate Alex Jones. They hate this country. They got the blue hair. They think communism is good. They think there's a million genders. But yeah, I feel like alpha. They're based. What do you think? Did I lose you? Oh, Greg Fernandez died today. Today is January 6th, 2025. And, oh man, that's funny. Am I still, it says I'm live over there, so.
Yeah,
Oh, you're back.
we're still live.
I read your eulogy and everything. Welcome back from the dead.
It's perfect timing, I think. What's up, Rick? What's up, Eric? Hey, if you guys want to join in, definitely welcome to. We're multi-streaming, I think.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So I think we're all good. Yeah. So I've been. Oh, I wanted to ask you about this because you were the one who brought this up, that you had watched this movie.
Yeah, you got a copy of it. I liked it a lot. What did you think?
I loved it.
Yeah?
I absolutely loved it.
Dinesh he's a treat. He's a national treasure. Everything he makes is like, it makes you want to fucking cry and like fly an American flag. Like, he knows how to pull on the heartstrings.
But there was something different about this documentary than any other, because when I think of a documentary, I think, okay, it's a bunch of clips. He's gonna
Right. Bunch of talking heads.
It wasn't like that.
No, it was a film.
Actors.
Yeah,
This was a movie. Yeah.
he spent some
This was
money,
like,
and I gotta say, like, the left wing actor, like, whoever did casting, Like
So good.
you have like the bull dyke lesbian leftist activist that's
She
running
was
it.
awesome.
She's
Yeah, yeah,
running it. She's like, oh, we got into fake ballots. I mean, like, she's so good. And then you have like the token black dude that like, he's just an
exactly.
open-minded kind of young black dude, and like, he's kind of calling her
He
on
was
his
awesome.
bullshit. Yeah, he was like such a great character, and I felt
Yeah, he
like
was.
it was a delicate dance that he had to do in order to make this not be. I can't notice that there was no backlash. In fact, there was no coverage whatsoever. The film came out like
Right.
a ghost. And I know he was trying. He was on Infowars. He was on War Room and the Alex Jones Show. I think he was on Breitbart. He was on a couple. He made the rounds on the right wing media. He might have even made it to Fox News. I think at one point, no left wing media would cover it. And but yeah, I think it's really impressive that with that much censorship and stuff to make such a. It was actually in movie theaters. I bought tickets. I saw it like in theaters. I saw Police State in theaters as well. So always like don't sleep on those. Like go to his website.
Yes.
Like support. It'll be like $20 to go see it in theaters or whatever. But like it comes with like a
Okay,
free
wait.
poster. It's like usually like a cool deal or something. And but that way like it's a show of force, is what it is. Like you're show you get to go to an event in a movie theater, meet like-minded people after the film, and we went out, had a couple drinks afterwards. Like it's like like an
That's
impromptu
awesome.
meetup. After something that you all obviously you're gonna have a lot of common ground. So yeah, I highly recommend going to those kinds of things. And
Well,
they're
I bought
rare.
I bought
How often do you get to do that?
I bought this one for $10, and when you buy this on Amazon,
Uh,
Jeff Bezos. But when you buy it, I got this one free here too. So
So for
if
ten
you
bucks, you
want
got
to,
both copies.
I got both. I got
That's a
both.
good deal. Yeah, you see,
I got
I
both.
actually I went through the proper channels and I paid like I think it was like $20, like $23 with everything. But no, that's a great deal, man. Hell yeah.
That's an awesome deal. But I wanted to ask you, since you've seen both of them, right?
Uh huh.
You've seen both of these two, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this one was more like a movie. This one, I mean,
Right.
the the Vindicating Trump. I haven't watched this one yet. I still have the package on it, so I haven't
There's a
seen
little
it.
bit
But
of that. There's some like dramatic reenactment kind of stuff.
that's
Um,
such a creative way. I was so
yeah. Well, he kind of did
blown
a little bit of
away.
that with like 2,000 Mules, right?
See,
Like
I haven't seen that one. I've read
ah,
the
yeah, you're
book.
sleeping on that shit.
I've
You
read
got to
the
see
book.
that movie. Yeah, it's good.
Well, the book is great. The book is awesome, but I
Yeah,
haven't seen the movie yet.
yeah, movie saw. I mean, it's like
It's
just the way
interesting
it's put
because
together. It gives you that like hacksaw vibe and stuff. And
well, because this is a book too. So I haven't read the book of
yeah,
Vindicating
I haven't
Trump,
read any
but
of the
seen
books.
the movie.
Yeah, I'm
The
the
book
worst.
is on two thousand mules. The book
Yeah.
is awesome, but if you've seen the movie, I mean, most of the stuff he talks about is probably taken directly from the book. But
Now, did he write the
it was a good.
book as well, or
Yes,
no?
he did.
Oh,
Yep,
okay. Yeah, solid.
yep,
Yeah, yeah. He's
yeah.
a very
It
talented
was
guy.
really really good.
And I like his
Yeah, he is.
demeanor. I like his approach to things where like he's kindly obviously like very sophisticated and very knowledgeable. He has a street cred. He's Obama literally put him behind bars and Trump pardoned him for making what was his Obama film? Obama's America, I think it was.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean he's been doing this for a while. He made no, there was Hillary's America, and then
There was an Obama
he
one
made
because
yeah, the
that's
Obama
what.
one's what got him in trouble. Like the Hillary one
Oh, and
did
Hillary
really
got put
well,
in
and it put
jail
him
for
in the
that.
crosshairs, huh? He was in
He
jail
got
for
put in jail.
making that
Oh, I didn't
movie.
know that. I didn't know that.
He was in jail for quite a while, and Trump once he got in office after Obama pardoned him, and then that's when he made Trump Card. Have you seen that one?
Oh no, but I have that one in my cart because when you buy
Yeah.
Trump Card, when you buy 2,000 Mules, the movie, you get Trump Card free. So
Yeah.
that's in my cart right now.
Yeah, it's funny. That was actually the first Dinesh film that I purchased, and I got it and immediately ripped it, threw the DarkDox watermark on it, and threw it on DarkDox.com. And we were the first ones that I could find anyway on the internet that like ripped his film, and he never gave a shit about it, you know. So props to Dinesh. And he could have been a dick and be like, "Hey, like I'm trying to like you're fucking up my sales." It's like people
I
need to see
know.
this movie, and like you know, so
Right.
we either
That's what
went
it's all
under the
about.
radar or he was like, "Yeah."
Leave the World Behind. Is that the name of the movie? I forget what it is with
Oh,
the
Leave the World
Obama.
Behind. Yeah, that was wasn't that yeah, that was Obama's Netflix. Hello.
Whoa. Well,
Got some feedback.
is that better?
Can you turn your speaker down a little bit? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll turn Eric down. We got Eric joining us here too.
Right there.
Yeah, there you go. That's better.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Awesome.
right, cool.
DarkDox, good to meet you.
Yeah, you too, man. Awesome. What are you up to?
Just listening in. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Christian Coffins. I'm the proprietor of DarkDox.com, and I'm the frontman of the anti-New World Order rock band Sacred Owls. We were talking earlier. We're working on a new album. DarkDox.com is it started off as a multimedia, just like free hub for like all the stuff that was getting banned on multiple platforms, and it kind of became more of a blog. And you know, we have DarkDox Digest, which is like it started off as a radio show, and then we started doing video, and then we were off the air for quite a while, and now I'm coming back. Tonight's actually my first night back. That I'm I've set aside time, so it's going to be weeknights at 7 to 9 p.m. So tonight's a late kind of test run of this, and you know we want to have guests on. You know we've had a bunch of really interesting guests over the years, and we do a lot of direct action as well over the years. A lot of protests. We covered all the COVID, you know, mask and vaccine mandates for like the fire departments and the school board hearings, and you know a lot of direct action and stuff. So we're gonna start doing a lot more of that. I've been working with Greg a lot over the years. We put out a film together, Sacred Owls. They're here to save the world, and it was focusing in on his resist the grove activities and stuff over the years, and all of that. Tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you got going on over there?
Oh, geez, where do I start? I'm banned from YouTube. I had to borrow a friend's account to even be on here.
Welcome
Nice.
to the club. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did a lot of broadcasts with Jeff Hayes, author of Rise of the New World Order, The Calling of Man, #1 best-selling biblical prophecy, 5 years in a row now.
Mm,
I'm on the same page as you are. You're speaking my language.
very cool.
And there was a time when having three powerhouses like us on, we would have hundreds of people watching, but unfortunately, YouTube has become censored so much that even TikTok is less censored, which is sad.
Yeah, they actually kicked me off of TikTok during that last hurricane for sharing a video of dry ice. So I was reposting a video someone here in Florida shot earlier that day where dry ice was landing on their you know their front yard. And then like right after I posted that, I was done. They just kicked me off like no reason, just done. But you know, I was thinking maybe we need to move things to X Spaces. I don't know. What do you think? YouTube's probably eventually going to kick us off, you know.
Geez, I don't know
Yeah.
about that. What is that?
Yeah, the only thing with X Spaces is I don't know if they have video. It's all audio, right? So it's good for audio,
Oh, okay, okay.
podcast type thing. But I
Well,
haven't
maybe
really
we
seen
could also like stream it like on a separate device, just the
That's
audio.
true.
Because what we're going to be doing with we have the new guy at DarkDox. He does like telecommunications and stuff. So like, you know, he's already setting up like affiliates and like us to like have like you know be syndicated. You know, just like Alex Jones and stuff and all that for the audio only portion of this. And so it's my job on this end to kind of do the more video. You know, so I'm kind of simulcasting, and I mean, you've been doing that for a while. Really, we all need to have a meeting and be, you know, like what
Yeah.
software are we using? How can we port in? I'm sure you know a bunch of shortcuts. I don't know. I
Yeah.
like how you're switching screens. I used to know how to do that. I forgot how to do that. So yeah, I need a tutorial. Yeah, I mean, so it'd be really cool if we can kind of have this regular thing, where you guys can hop on my show, I'll hop on your show nightly, as we're
Yeah,
doing other things and kind of swim in and out.
absolutely. Yeah,
Perfect.
Eric's everywhere. He's big on TikTok right now. I'm not a TikTok user or anything, but yeah, I've been working with Eric for a long time. He was the first one who had us on when we were trying, when Dan Hennon and I were trying to get the David
Yeah.
Crowley case, trying to keep that alive. Eric Spitfire Wilkinson was the first one that actually had us on, that would let us on and gave us time to talk. And
Yeah, AJ wouldn't even have you on, right?
no, AJ wouldn't even talk about it. So,
I think that was during his whole, the whole
well,
lawsuit.
also
Make
Eric
anybody lose their mind going through that craziness.
Eric has some experience with Pete Santilli and was part of the
Ah.
and what was Fickham was the guy's, I always forget the
Avoid
guy's name.
Finicum, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
so
those
he was
guys.
yeah, it's a part of that. And so
I've
it's
interviewed
just,
Judy Mikovits and lots
Oh,
of
Judy, yeah, she's awesome.
military whistleblowers. Judy even sent me a Christmas card this year. So
oh
What?
wow, that's cool, man.
yeah, that was nice. She remembered me, but
Yeah,
he's another one that's been banned.
yeah, and Eric does music too, just like you.
Oh, yeah, what kind of
Yeah,
music you
I know.
doing?
Yeah, yeah,
I do all kinds of music. In fact, I just got out of the studio like a month ago, and I'm getting ready to drop this banger.
nice.
I'd like to hear some of yours.
Oh yeah, you got to go on Christian. I think it's on your I think it's on the Sacred Owl channel where you did some acoustics. I'd love to I'd pull those up right. I could pull those up right now. Those
Yes,
last
please.
acoustics.
Yeah, during the
Yeah,
hurricane, I got a little bored, so I did some acoustic versions of some of our old tunes. Yeah.
yeah. Well, you did one recently.
Oh yeah,
I'm
it's
I'm
funny. I
gonna
meant
find it.
to
I'm gonna find
post it
it.
on Christmas,
Yes,
but I posted it as
yes.
private because I was sharing like bass tablature stuff with our new bass player, and
Yeah.
so I was like, oh, it's not even posted. So like days after Christmas is I covered it was American Nightmare from the Misfits, but like a nice
That's it.
classic Elvis version of it and stuff. Next to the Christmas tree. As I wanted to. I had my robe on, so it was a nice. I needed like a campfire behind me or a fireplace
Yes. That's
on
yeah.
Christmas Day.
All right.
On the
Well,
we have the owl drum set. Actually, I'll show you over here. This is the Sacred Owls drum set over here, and it has a television on it. So like for Christmas, I had a fireplace on that, and it had a nice crackle and pop. Really set the mood. Yeah.
yeah, I'm just pulling that up here.
So while he's pulling that up, definitely get your supplements from thealexjonesstore.com/darkdocs, and we get 10%.
Nice. Yeah. I don't know if you're in the YouTube chat, Christian, or not. But put yourself there or make a comment there so that way I can make you a admin, give you that wrench. So that way, because if you don't have the wrench, you can't post any links or anything like that.
Oh,
But
okay. So I will
definitely,
chat here.
okay. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna play this, man, because I listened to this. I can listen to this.
It's like such an inappropriate song for Christmas, but like I just learned it, and I'm like, this is such a fun one. And
It was cool, man.
I bet
I
there's
liked
someone
it.
on the internet that's like, there's a code in there, man. He's trying to say something.
Well, you got the
I'm really
tree. You got
not.
the tree in the back. You're a pagan because you got the tree in the background.
I love this is my first Christmas tree I ever bought.
Everything's a
Right.
conspiracy. I'm a conspiracy theorist. You are one. Everyone is. The Earth is definitely not flat, though.
We're all conspiracy theorists here.
Dude, TikTok is a. Oh, here we go. Yes, please.
Let's play this. Here we go. Let me make sure it's good. Okay. This is a.
Oh boy. I totally lost them. All right, I'm entering the studio. for those of you that are tuned in, I'm on the air with Greg Fernandez Jr. He's a very accomplished writer, and I'm entering the studio now. Yeah, I'm glad we spoke about the Crowley case as well. He needs to live forever in not infamy, but what he did was really interesting, and his case was tragic.
Nice. And you know what? You know what I really like too is oh, where are you? Oh, sorry, there you are.
I'm back.
Here we go. Here we go.
Ah.
Hold on, Eric. Eric.
Oh,
Eric's.
we're gonna have a live jam session. I'm so about it.
Yeah, no, I wanted to make sure Eric was muted for a second, so I want to make sure.
I'm a horrible guitarist, but
No, it's all good. It's all good. But okay, so
I know 6 chords. That's it. That's all you need.
More than I know.
You play them in different orders, and it makes them think you know what you're doing.
My specialty is vocals.
Yeah, I don't know too much about the Misfits, but I think that there was a wrestler, a WCW wrestler.
Yeah.
The Misfits would actually show up on the WCW shows and everything.
Yeah,
like
so
that.
Doyle von Frankenstein and his brother Jerry Only, like they're like 2 of the original like members of the punk band, horror punk band, the Misfits, and they've always been like bodybuilders. In fact, I met Doyle von Frankenstein at a horror convention a couple years ago, and just his routine before he goes on stage, like it's in his rider, like when they book a show at like a bar or whatever, the bar has to be closed down for a couple hours so he can set up all of his fucking gym equipment in the bar, and like he's like bench pressing, like doing all the shit, and he's a vegan bodybuilder, is he? Really a odd fella, but really good metal guitarist, and they're doing stadium shows now that Glenn Danzig, he's the original vocalist, and that's who wrote that song. I mean, that song's from I think 1979, maybe 1980 or so.
They're 80s
Old.
by now, right?
That's what I was.
They're old, yeah. They're pushing,
cool.
yeah. They're in their late
But
60s for sure.
They must be wrestling fans, or they at least they got.
Yeah, for sure. They actually, I forget how like it came about, but they were actually on a couple like WWF broadcasts. Those WCW. Yeah.
Yeah, WCW. That was popular because that was the first time that I had ever seen them or heard of them. They came out with one of the wrestlers, Vampiro, and I was like, okay, I don't know who they are. I have no idea who the Misfits are, but they came out and they did a couple things with them, like some physical stuff, for a wrestling show. Come on, I'm a
Yeah, no, it's super fun. There's a clip actually of like Glenn Danzig, like it was one of those like backstage or whatever, and apparently like they did some kind of like trick on him or something, and he ended up like getting like punched in the face like really fucking hard like on camera, and like it wasn't part of the thing, and he got like really upset about it. He's always been kind of a drama queen, But you never know what's real or fake because I mean it's wrestling, that's the idea.
That's the entertainment business, right?
Yeah.
Danzig was in the Misfits, Greg. You
No.
Huh?
Yeah, he was the original singer. Wow.
It was way before that song.
Yeah, Michael Graves jumped on after Glenn Danzig. Like he left the band and they were like disbanded for years and years. And then Michael Graves, he actually started conservative punk .com like way back when. This is like 2001, 2002. And it was kind of like in opposition to Fat Mike from NoFX Punk Voter, who, you know, it was all like supporting Planned Parenthood, vote blue, blah blah blah. And so yeah, it was a really interesting time where he got a lot of backlash.
Sorry, I threw up a little bit there. My bad.
Because of the blue or what?
The Planned Parenthood part.
Oh, the Planned Parenthood.
All the aborted fetal body parts that they make a lot of money on.
Babies, we're very proud of it. It's great stuff.
Yeah, so
It
you know,
sounds like, it sounds like what a guy in our chat, Rick, Crip Rick, who's been on our shows and everything, he knows about Danzig. I don't, so I'm just learning about it. But,
yeah, he's an odd fella, very interesting vocalist for sure, though. You know,
That's an interesting song because I don't know if you know. I don't expect either of you to follow wrestling at this point, but there is a one of the most popular wrestlers, the WWE champion right now, is Cody Rhodes, who is the son of the WWE Hall of Famer Dusty Rhodes, and
oh
his
yeah, I
name
remember him.
is the American Nightmare.
Really?
Cody Rhodes. Yeah, so that's the heavyweight champion right now.
I stopped following it really hard when I found out it was fake.
Wah wah.
I started watching
1983 there.
Right, you
How
had right,
dare you.
I was only a little kid. I mean, I was like 9, 10 years old. And that broke my heart. But
I was heartbroken. I was heartbroken when I found out that wrestling was not real. But then I realized, yeah, when you throw somebody into the ropes, they're probably not going to come back.
well,
They're just going to keep running.
These are giant dudes smashing each other down. That's not easy. I mean, say it's not. Who was that one wrestler that the reporter said? So it's fake, right? And the dude punched him in the face, or no, body slam.
Hogan. Well, Hogan. Yeah, Hogan
That
grabbed
probably
somebody. No. You're talking about. You're talking about Dr. Death.
Yeah.
Somebody. Yeah, Dr. Death.
They made him pass out.
Was that fake?
Well, that's the thing. It's like there's scripted, and then there's fake. Like, you know, what is fake, right? Like, where do you draw the line? Like, you know, fake would be like if it was AI and it was like none of it was actually actors. There was no crowd. That's fake, you know. Whereas, yeah, no, it's a scripted, you know, live play.
But they do get hurt, right?
Fuck yeah, you can get hurt. You know, it's like if you're on Broadway
If you're 10
or
years old and you don't know this is scripted, then I mean, you got some issues.
yeah, like ballerinas break their ankles.
TV tells you.
Ice skaters break shit all the time. Like it's a scripted choreographed thing, but like yeah, you know, you're
It's like
dealing
a
with
ballet,
physics. It really is.
When you're a
It's
kid, though, it just seems amazing what these guys are doing. I mean,
it is amazing still to this day. I mean, honestly.
The pile driver has been banned now, right?
It got banned because
You're not shocked that would actually happen with a
that was
390-pound person slamming somebody's head to the. It's gonna slip, but that got banned. How did that get by for so many decades?
Well, because it depends on how you do it. How you do it. If you do it where the person is standing a certain way or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, but they still do it. But the big thing about the pile driver was when Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's what ruined his neck. As he took that. But it was just not about, you know. It's like this is an art form. These guys know what they're doing, and sometimes people get hurt.
Being a professional athlete, though, Greg, watching these giants.
It's not like boxing.
I cannot believe that never happened. Accidentally slipped out of the hold of somebody's legs, and that didn't happen for decades. Like that just goes to show you how professional these guys are.
So the pile driver, is that the one where like the person's head is like in your crotch? And like they're like you're 69ing each other, and then like you land on your ass, like
you're not supposed to do it that way, and that's where Stone Cold Steve Austin got hurt.
So you're not supposed to face each other. You're supposed to like spoon each other, like 69 spooning.
Yes, yeah.
That's the official. Jesus Christ. Yeah, well, I mean, I was thinking about it. It's like if I had like a grown ass man and I was like holding him with his like ass in my face, and like and I land on my ass. Like I fell once and like I busted my tailbone. Like that was like the worst fucking pain for like 2 years.
Yeah,
Like I couldn't fucking
That's
sit
the
down
most
without seeing
embarrassing.
static. Like I couldn't imagine having like, another 200 something pound guy, and then like, so you have 400 something pounds landing on my fucking tailbone. Like how does that not hurt the person that is doing it
Because
to the person?
they're trained for this, so they spend just like how boxers are, right, Eric?
I mean, what do you
You know,
clench your
boxers.
your muscular ass and like that's what you're
Yeah, but
landing on,
you
or
know, the 69 thing and the two dudes. I mean,
that shit's wild.
this is called
It is.
the NWO. Didn't they call themselves the New World Order? Wasn't there like? I mean, it's intertwined everywhere. That
That
showed
came
me
later,
like
but yeah.
there was
Yeah.
literally the New World Order.
There was a new world order.
It's the only way to go.
Right, dude, 69 and smashing her. I mean, but anyway, back to what we were talking about. We got lost. We found our
I
way.
could talk about wrestling forever. I could talk about wrestling forever.
It just amazes me.
People are tuning into Sacred Owls and they're like, "What the fuck, dude?
No,
Like
what are you guys
seriously."
talking about, dude? How'd you go from the Misfits? But the Misfits were part of wrestling.
Yeah, you see, that's
how
what.
we made it.
And you know who else was a part of wrestling? Trump. Ah, now we're back. See.
There you go.
From
my God.
WrestleMania 4. WrestleMania 4. Now, WrestleMania 3 was probably the biggest WrestleMania event because that's where Hulk Hogan body slammed the big giant Andre the Giant.
Yeah. That guy was.
WrestleMania 4 and WrestleMania
What a beast.
5 were hosted at Trump Plaza in Atlantic City. And if you watch WrestleMania 4 and WrestleMania 5, you will see Donald Trump sitting front row for the entire show, which is awesome.
I fought there last year.
I didn't have to get up to pee once. You've never seen someone hold their pee like me. Nobody holds their pee like me.
Nobody holds their pee like me. People may hold their pee. I hold their pee.
I hold their
If
pee.
goes on me, it doesn't.
We have people that hold our pee for us.
I'm gonna
And you
say
can
right
see-
The
now,
best
this is
people, the
probably
top people.
Best show I've been on in probably years. Right
So
now,
awesome.
it really
I'll
is.
tell you.
You got that
It's great.
synchronicity. It happens.
So I always thought that there was something very similar between Christian and Eric. So it's really great to have them both.
We're all
Yeah,
Gen
this is
Xers,
fun.
right?
Yeah, good call.
We're all Gen Xers, I assume, right?
I'm an elder millennial. I'm like right on 83. I think the 84 is the cutoff,
Oh yeah,
or
you made the cutoff.
85, or I don't
Of
know,
course, you made the cutoff.
just barely.
I'm
Yeah.
79. I don't
After that, you'd be a boomer, and you're certainly not a boomer.
No.
They're different. I mean, they're a different breed.
Though,
They're a little more sane than what we have coming out of the new generations, though.
I get along with Xers a lot more, though. I'd say, like, when I was in like ninth grade, I was hanging out with the seniors. So it's like the younger Xers and the older millennials. I think like we're like a subbreed.
So where are you? Give me the details again. I want to write them down. Where can I find you? Where can I?
Sacredowls.com and DarkDox.com. DarkDox.com. Sacredowls.com is actually at DarkDox.com. It's just a sub page of the main website. But yeah, all of our music and music videos and our films, it's all there. All of our stuff is at the DarkDox shop.
Are you putting out like conspiracy theories there? Are you doing your thing there, or is it mostly music?
No, well, yeah. So DarkDox.com is pretty much like Infowars.com or like any other alternative news site. Yeah, and it's just a regular WordPress blog roll. But we have an online shop where we sell all of the Sacred Owl stuff. We also have T-shirts, and we have a bunch of we have Trump buttons, and we have all of our films that we've made over the years, and yeah, all kinds of stuff. But yeah, the day-to-day stuff of DarkDox.com is just kind of like whatever's going on, and like this is going to go on there. As we call these like DarkDox Digest, where we're just like kind of covering a bunch of things that happened that day or that week, or it's pretty free format.
Or is it just blogging? Do you do podcasts there too, or is it just blogging?
like we consider like we're gonna
Yeah.
re-edit these into podcasts, but like we're gonna start doing like live podcasting, and also like radio
You're gonna
syndication.
do video there. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
audio and video, and also like what Adam Curry's doing with that podcasting 2.0. I want to get in on that. Have you heard about this?
Very. Yeah, I haven't heard about him in a while. I noticed
Yeah.
that little thing behind you that's black and has Infowars in the middle.
Yeah, it's one of
That's
our we got that from when like they were getting rid of all sorts of stuff at the Infowars store last year. So like I bought a bunch of I have so many like Infowars shorts. It's like not even funny. So we have them as our merch now. We just like we sell Infowars shirts because I just have so many of them.
it's interesting because probably I don't know 8 9 years ago I was driving a Mustang in Michigan in the middle of winter, which is not a good thing to drive, and I slid through an intersection, got in an accident, totally my
Mm.
fault, and it was my fault, all that good stuff. I was insured and all that, but when the sheriff showed up, he noticed I had an Infowar bumper sticker. That was the first thing he noticed, and let's just say he took good care of me after that.
That's
And
awesome.
Alex Jones is one of the well, he is the person that got me into this about 12 years ago. Just
Yeah, same.
full hardcore. I've always been awake, but I mean, he knocked it out of the park on everything, and now people are even afraid. People who are awake are afraid to even say his name or call him a shill. Most of you people wouldn't even be awake if not for this person.
Yeah,
I got upset at him.
sure.
Over but what do I know? Have I ever been in a position where they're threatening my entire family and my children's children and shit like that? If I don't shut up, I
Yeah.
don't know what I would do in that position, but
And I personally, I wasn't even mad about the Sandy Hook stuff because literally, like, what the whole case was based on mostly was him taking calls, and it was what
I
the
was
people
upset about
on,
way back,
yeah,
back
like,
though.
well,
He
yeah,
had a court case where he could have. I mean, in court. I mean, I was like, oh my God, Alex Jones is in court.
yeah,
Sandy Hook, and you can present all this, and none of the evidence that us people who were actually researching the case even came out in that court case. Now
he wasn't allowed to present anything, and that it was a whole kangaroo court
why was
case,
that?
and yeah.
Why would that? He was not right.
He
All this
wasn't
stuff-
allowed to present anything. His counsel, like he was already defaulted. He couldn't.
Correct.
Yeah. So I mean, if they
stuff
actually
that would
could.
prove his point of view of why. I mean, that was just insane.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So they're going through appeals now, and
really
yeah.
when it comes to somebody who spoke up so many.
People have no respect, is what it comes down to. It's like, I haven't agreed with everything Alex Jones has ever said or done, or the way he did it. Sometimes I've been watching the show pretty much since like 2000, like late 2001 to 2002.
You still watch it? I haven't watched. I can say that I haven't watched it in a couple of years, and I used to listen to it. I fall asleep
So,
listening to it
like,
back in the day.
by day I'm an engineer, and I have band.video. Like I have in the morning it's Harrison Smith with the American Journal from 9, 10, 11, 12. It's the Alex Jones show from 12 to 4, and then it's the War Room with Oren Schroyer from 4 to 7, and that's why I'm starting. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's if you go to band.video, if you go to Infowars.com, it also has like live on air. If you click on that, it'll take you to band.video, or it'll take you to a page with like an embed for band.video. But that's like where, yeah, band.video is like where it's happened. That's their YouTube or whatever. That like they're streaming and syndicating live every day. So now DarkDox Digest, I'm going to be bringing it back at from 7 to 9. So that way I can watch that shit all day, take notes, pull clips, and I mean the coverage like between all three shows. There's a little bit of overlap. There's a lot of ads for like the AlexJonesStore.com and stuff. And now they have an affiliate program, so that's why you can go to the AlexJonesStore.com/DarkDox, and if you buy anything there, we get 10% off. You can sign up to be an affiliate and do it, on your shows and stuff. We haven't been doing affiliate stuff before, but yeah, like. They're smart because what they're doing is they're diversifying. So in case like the Onion and Bloomberg win, if they take over InfoWars in these court cases, they have AlexJones.network, and then they have the AlexJonesStore.com. It's a separate company. It's other people. They're an affiliate. So like they're decentralizing everything so they can't be taken. It's very smart what they're doing, and we're definitely going to use that same model if we ever get hit the way they've been getting hit by Bloomberg and.
You have to set yourself up for that. I mean, at
Yeah.
this point, if you're telling any type of truth,
Well, right. It
you
only
know it's coming.
it adds credence to what we're saying that like we're willing to throw down and do this, and it's like we've been attacked by the left, and like right now our site's working weird because we get DDoS attacks and
Are
and
you
all this.
part of InfoWars? I mean, do you do work with them?
I've done like a couple of like special reports like years ago, and I was one of the contestants.
That's enough,
Huh?
though. That's enough. That's enough, though, to tell me something. You have. That's cool. Really.
Yeah. I mean, over the years, I've met Alex a couple times. Actually, here's when he came to Florida last. Here's him, me, and my son over at the stand. That was the church in Tampa that got the pastor. What's his name? Rodney Brown. He got arrested for not closing his church due to COVID and stuff. And so yeah, I mean, Greg and I, we've definitely been like. At this for quite a while. But as far as like with InfoWars, our new guy, he knows Rob Dew personally and stuff. So
So Rob Dew's still there. You mentioned Owen Schroyer.
right,
Schroyer the Destroyer.
he's the cuck destroyer, man. Yeah.
This is really how long it's been since I lived in. It's Paul
Schroyer is
Watson.
awesome.
Huh?
I don't think the Watson brothers are the Watson brothers still up? I don't think they are.
He pops on every now and then, and it's like more and more seldom. He's really just doing his own thing. He had Summit.news, and then he sold that, and now it's called. He has an other news outfit. He's jumping around doing different things, but mostly like his YouTube channel. Like he posts like multiple times a day with that. That's kind of how it is. Like because when you're working with InfoWars, like Alex Jones is like the head honcho, so a lot of people over the years have kind of butt heads with him, and actually Popeye, one of our Federal Jack colleagues and stuff back in the day, he runs Down the Rabbit Hole with Popeye and stuff, and he's an amazing podcaster as well. And he says like Alex Jones like stole a lot of like his like posts and stuff back in the day, so he's kind of bitter about it. And so a lot of people have problems with InfoWars, but again, at the end of the day, like any operation, that's ragtag like that, like they're gonna have their problems. They're gonna have like growing pains, and like when you're being attacked like this, it's like, I don't know. I can't imagine not being understanding with like any of you guys, or like I don't know, like maybe like with like things like the Daily Wire and stuff like that, like what's going on with Brett Cooper. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with that drama, and then with Candace Owens and all of that shit. Like, and they're running. They got some deep pockets.
The females were there. There was two females over there. There were three of them.
Yeah.
I believe they were killing it. One of them still does it on TikTok, but I don't think on YouTube anymore. She's younger, blonde hair, younger. What is her name? She's killing it.
It's not Brett Cooper, right? She's the brunette, and she got replaced by her bridesmaid, who I think is blonde. And like it's the comments section. Like she took over that show, and it was kind of like a hostile takeover apparently, and like everyone's speculating like what was going on.
I'll look it up. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'm still listening. I'm just looking it up.
Gotcha. Yeah, so apparently it was like a hostile takeover, and the whole thing's really shady, and who knows? But like, yeah, I mean, could you ever imagine like trying to work for like one of those kinds of outfits? I couldn't do it, like because I'm the worst employee. You really can't tell me what to do. Like I'm doing shit on my own schedule. Like I have my own agenda, and I think everyone should kind of have their own agenda and like be ungovernable in order to stay true to like that's why I like working with Greg here and the DarkDox network. Like you know, like I founded DarkDox, but I don't really tell anyone what to do. I make suggestions and offer help and advice and stuff, and but everyone kind of contributes what they can when they can, and no one's really getting paid, so I'm happy for anyone to do anything ever. And um, but hopefully now that you know we're getting our shit together, we'll make a little bit more money, so I can start paying people and telling them what to do. So maybe we'll get more things done. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I wanted to say I like that that you got the beard going. I don't know if that was just a Christmas thing, a Saint Nick thing, but you know, that seems different there, and I think you got a nice clean beard there. I can't
Thanks.
even grow my.
No.
I'm 46 years. I'm 45.
Yeah,
Maybe
if
46.
it's not there
I
yet,
can't, I
it's
can't grow a full beard.
huh. Yeah, I've
But
always had like very swarthy hair. You know, it grows
little
in
freaking
so
pockets here and
fast.
there, like you're the wolf man starting to freaking turn.
I mean,
Yeah, it's
No, you got. We're jealous right now.
oh
got a
man.
nice beard.
Yeah, I started doing the no
Good
shave
for you.
November thing, and then December got here, and I'm like, well, it's cold. It's like, so I want a beard, you know. And now it's January, and the fiance likes it, so I'm going to, you know, you got to listen to them. You know, they're the ones rubbing their face all over you. So you know.
I feel like you're calling Greg and I kind of back to the mothership again. I mean, I listened religiously going to sleep to InfoWars for years,
Yeah.
and I haven't for 4 years, and
Oh, dude, yeah, it's better than
you
ever.
know
I mean, they have like a
one of
killer
the things
studio, and
that people
really,
disagree with him about. All of a sudden he's fuck him. He's a horrible guy. Shill, blah blah blah.
yeah.
There were a couple different differences. You know, we're at the point where that's where it's at. That's how they are dividing. Obviously, this country has never been in more of a divide than it is right now, in my opinion.
Think so? I think it's.
Oh my
I
Right now,
God!
I
think
think got the unity.
here's
If
I
you're
think
on
it was here,
TikTok,
it was the worst, and like now we're right here. Like after the election, the left is backing down, and I think things are de-escalating a little bit. Like I'm not like saying like we're done, but
right?
like
Maybe it's I hang out maybe in different sectors.
yeah, where are you at?
And I'm on TikTok a lot, which
No,
is
I mean like in
But
the world, like
you're
like
in
what's
Michigan.
in Michigan?
oh.
Yeah,
He
in
doesn't know
Michigan.
where he is, folks. Yeah, I'm in Michigan, Waterford, Michigan. So,
Oh, dude. Okay, I actually played a show in Waterford, Michigan, back in
no way.
2012. Yeah.
By Pontiac, Michigan.
There's a yeah. There's a dude from up there. His name's Mike Edginton, and he's a rockabilly dude that has an outfit called Twisted, and Graves was a psychobilly band, and then they would do more rockabilly kind of covers, like you know you could do weddings or bars or whatever for like you know just kind of a more straight laced crowd, and that was called Go Get Gone. And I started playing drums for. I actually learned how to play like rockabilly stand up drums, like Slim Jim Phantom from the Stray Cats for that band. And like we played everything from like of course Elvis or early Elvis stuff, and Stray Cats, Roy Orbison, Dick Dale, all that kind of like surf and rockabilly stuff. And yeah, but so that was our hometown, and we drove all the way up there, and we played like we played a Harley Davidson. It was like a bike week thing or something. I don't know. And then we played a couple bars up in the Upper Peninsula up there, and it's beautiful up there. I loved it so much. It was very nice.
Are the Stray Cats? Do you consider the Stray Cats rockabilly?
Well, yeah, some would argue like they're kind of like the godfathers of American rockabilly, whereas it's funny because
Really?
I actually have a photo here.
They were one of my first bands that I actually knew a song that I memorized a song to.
This right here is me and my son with Slim Jim Phantom over at the Rockabilly Queue a couple years back ago, and he was playing with the Reverend Horton Heat and a couple other bands, and yeah, I mean it's really fun music. That really is what got me early on into like the more like rock and roll kind of sounding stuff. Because when I was young, it was all like punk and hardcore and noise and fucking crazy shit. And then, but like when I got a
It's
little
like
older, yeah, like getting back to
There's a lot of
basics.
different styles back then.
that's so cool, man.
You had
That's so cool.
punk, and you had like the electro coming on, and you had
Yeah,
the new age, and you had the '80s Valley Girl type stuff. I mean, you had all kinds of different things coming out. You had Seek
Yeah.
Seek Sputnik and all these crazy different branch off bands. Yeah, great
yeah,
time to grow up. Now it all is pretty much.
Now it's all yeah.
Well, it's a lot of it's fake. I mean, they can take somebody they like the way they look and just put them in. They can put somebody who sings like this and fucking make them sound like Mariah Carey.
or
Well,
just
now,
like not even a real
now we
person,
can.
AI. Like,
Yes, thank you for that. Yeah,
I have a
AI.
tiny
Let's talk about
modest
AI.
I have
yeah,
a tiny modest studio here, and I can do shit like that. It's easy to do now. It's not genuine. That's why I like genuine music.
yeah,
But anyway, testing AI, another great topic.
Yeah, dude. AI.
yeah.
I mean, Eric actually got me into a song that was, it's like Trump. It's Trump rapping. Of course, it's not him.
Yeah, those are funny. Yeah.
But it's like one of my favorite songs ever. It's like
It's not my favorite. I do
It's
love
my favorite song. I listen to it
Flip
all
Dart,
the
bro.
time. I listen to it
Yeah,
all the time.
these
I like
prompt
to hear
jockeys,
rap.
like you can type up like the right prompt, and if you have like a good generator
That's
and
so
stuff,
wrong. Yeah.
it like in fact, even for the new DarkDox, our new guy, he sent me like a bunch of like little sizzle reels of like, "Shh, this is darkdox.com, darkdox.com," all these people saying shit and like the music, and it's all fake. It's all just like he types some shit in and like boom, like, and it's weird because it has the feel.
Swear to God,
Whoa, that's scary. But it had the feel of like, of the
What was that?
website and like the vibe and the tone.
yeah, I was gonna play one for you guys.
Oh, okay, cool,
We
cool.
got a couple minutes here.
Mhm.
Let me play because this is all Eric's fault, by the way. I had no idea.
It's great to meet up with like-minded individuals who.
I
Likewise.
wanted nothing to do with AI. I still don't, but I love this song here. I'm gonna play.
Oh,
this
okay,
right
awesome.
here. Just a couple.
Oh my God, this one again.
couple minutes.
God.
It's 2 minutes and 37
I
seconds.
go on, I hear this damn song, man.
I swear to God, if you idiots elect that demented man, I will burn this whole fucking place to the
Oh.
ground. How did we get here? I'm done.
I'm gonna come.
Having a little trouble with the fact I beat ya? I guess so. Music to my ears got me thirsty though. Ooh, good gushing. You done got me buzzing. Nothing hits the spot like an arrogant plot balling on TikTok. Raise a shot. Oh, I've been sipping. Nothing satisfies like the taste of the glass they're flipping. Tripping. Went to my soul, but I never get full.
If you're just tuning in, I'm here with Greg Fernandez Jr. and Trump is rapping. Greg's over here dancing. Greg needs to cover this song.
This is
You
what
need to
happens-
cover this song.
This is what happens when a rapper, me, who has not been able to put out anything for 4 years, and I hear something like this. I'm like, I want to do this.
No, but
AI is motherfucking daddy.
you have that same vibe though. You've always like especially on like False Flags. There's like at times it's almost like the Ghostbusters theme song. It just has that kind of vibe,
Ooh,
right? It's like Ray Parker Jr. and shit. I'm here for it.
yeah, he's awesome.
Well, that's why kind of like why music's going in the toilet, because a lot of rappers and vocalists, they're just freaking typing in AI. I've used it before.
Yeah.
I've just discovered it recently because I'm an older guy, but
I will
I
never.
mean, that's how easy it is now, though. There's no thought, there's no emotion, there's no passion.
Right, and that's why I think it's good for jingles. You know, like between segments or just a little like a commercial or something. Like it's good for that kind of stuff. But like it is a little like I've never heard one that has like such like a deep soul to it. And like we'll see if like they get there. But like I can always pick it out. Like, oh, that's AI generated. Like you just there's something synthetic. There's something a little off about it. You know.
Well, as musicians,
Seems wrong.
I mean, as musicians, vocalists, and such, I mean, we see this, and it's kind of insane.
But I bet a lot of people won't catch it.
Ike,
Yeah.
should we do an Ike shift?
Yeah. Well, what's new with the Ike Man?
I don't know either. And I used to follow him constantly. The guy was a genius. He was a pro soccer player. He was another guy who was like, oh, but he's a shill because of this and that.
Yeah. So he does have he has a channel on Band.video. And he runs with his son. It's called Iconic. And that's like their production outfit. And they've been doing like, you know, daily stuff, and they have affiliates, and it's a whole production. But at Band.video, you'll see like Iconic on the sidebar, and like they've been posting pretty regularly there, but he's kind of dropped off in the past couple months. So I'm curious to see like was there a falling out with David Icke and Alex Jones, because for a while like he was on the Alex Jones show as a correspondent. They'd at least do like half an hour like once a week. He was a regular, you know, like for the past year, really, like more than ever. Like they really, because they had some beef years ago, and they squashed it, and like yeah, they actually started working together. So I'm curious to see where that goes in 2025.
Yeah, and that was a healthy beef, if I remember correctly, and they did squash it. But
Yeah.
again, I follow, because I mean, these are people again going to sleep listening to a lot of us out here.
Yeah.
I'd say hundreds of million, probably more than that, right? Over the time that Alex Jones has been out here, from the start of Bohemian Grove, where you know there's all the different conspiracies about that conspiracy itself when it comes to how he even got in there. But
I got a fun one for you.
Politicians running around naked, doing mock sacrifices,
Right there.
worshiping an owl.
You see this? It means not welcome. Now bite the curb.
Yeah. And that one symbol triggered a lot.
Nothing weird about that for 2 weeks. Fucking imagine just taking off for 2 weeks from your family, whatever, just to go dance around naked. Do these.
Well, there's people that go on a business vacation, right? It's
2 weeks with a bunch of dudes.
Well, the most wild thing that, you know, of course, there's all the stories, and there's a Franklin cover up and all of that, and we wrote songs as Sacred Owls, and our Tales of Terror comic book series, and we're coming out with the third one this Halloween. It focuses on the Paul Benassi story, the Troy Boner story. I'm going to touch a little bit on the Alicia Owens, Ted Gunderson kind of continuation of his story and all the backstory. Yeah, I mean, like, even our guy Noah, I mean, when he went there as a child, he blacked out for like 2 weeks. And the funny thing is, I have a friend named Tam, and she has the same story. Her dad was a member, took her as a child, and she remembers the drive up, and she remembers the drive back, but they don't remember anything when they were there. Like, they're drugging these people, you know, and doing God knows what to them during that time period.
Yeah, I got one of those here, Tales of Terror.
Nice.
Part 2. So I still got that one.
Awesome.
It's good. I got 2.
When is your next book coming out, Greg?
We're just talking about that. I think it's going to come out in the summer of 2025. So just moving a couple pieces here, and still trying to edit. And the problem is, like, where do you start? Where do you start and where do you end? So I know where the book starts. The book starts with Kennedy and Trump both saying that, or both being questioned, would they run? Or, are you going to run? Are you going to run? We've been hearing this for years, right?
I'm going to run.
When are they going to run? I'm going to run, man. I'm going to run. Nobody can run like me. me. I'm the only one that can run. If anyone can run, it's gonna be me. But there are actually, some quotes
Do you still have the chapter that I sent you?
Yeah, I still got it.
All right.
For the David Crowley book you're talking about?
Docs. I mean, we got till summer of 2025. I got a chapter in the book. You should get one too. I'm sure he wouldn't. I'm not going to speak for Greg, but I think that would probably be acceptable at the very least.
Yeah, that Crowley case, man. That's that. You know,
It's not the Crowley case.
I love it when anyone brings up that case because
My favorite.
you know we need to make a T-shirt like his name was David Crowley or something like just like
Greatest movie never made.
yeah. We were talking about it.
Have you guys seen the trailer for a new movie that just came out called Homestead? Because it looks just like David Crowley's movie.
Yeah, it does. It won't be as good though.
What's it called?
If you haven't seen it, I'm gonna play it. It's called Homestead.
Homestead.
Yeah, you never heard of this? All right, let me play this for you.
Yeah.
Let me play this trailer for you because I think
It's like it.
this is. There's so many of them out there too. This is crazy. Okay, let me pull this up here because this is so similar to David Crowley's work. Just see if I can.
I'm done spending an obscene amount of money on takeout.
Yeah, me too. I'm done with your ads. All right, sorry.
I broke down and I pay the $6.95 a month for no commercials.
Give me your money.
I made it.
There's no escape.
We got hit. America's just been attacked.
This is the story of how it began.
Oh, it's Angel Studios.
Be struck by bomb.
Might be nuclear.
Nuclear war. This is in Crowley's script.
We never come back.
This is the trailer for a film called Homestead. Homestead.
We have looting and widespread panic. Hey,
Daddy has a place for us to go. Be together.
the city's on fire.
There's a guy been planning for the big one. Called a few months back, needs security people.
Prepper.
What is this place?
Welcome to Homestead. Your guys have to learn how to farm.
We grow our food. We raise our animals. Can you handle yourself with a gun?
This might be the most prepared location in the Rockies. Everyone's gonna want in. And I mean everyone. My family's out here, and we're starving to death.
I wish we could help, but we can't.
We can't anymore.
Our kids need us to be strong.
Please. People are gonna die at this gate.
They're trespassers. The hills.
They're stealing your grain. They've cut off your solar power.
We need a world where people help strangers, not shoot at them. Sometimes we think we're doing the right thing, and then it all goes wrong.
Stop here and take full control. It's complicated. You think that you're above the law? You think that the rules aren't for you?
Is this an ark, or is this a fortress?
It's our home. Hey, I'm Neil McDonough.
I'm Bailey Chase.
I'm
All right, so
Interesting. Okay.
Play Jeff
this
Erickson.
is a new movie, and for both of you who probably know about the movie, what's that movie?
Yeah, well, this is
Sound of Freedom.
right. This is
Sound of
Angel
Freedom.
Studios. They did Sound of Freedom, and they've done a couple of kind of awake films. I can't think of.
Possible with the new administration right now that a film like this could possibly be released.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
They did, I mean,
Back then,
Sound of Freedom was under Biden, wasn't it?
no, Sound of Freedom. They did yes, it was under Biden, but they
Right.
did a screening at Trump did a screening at
Mar-a-Lago.
Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have Angel Studios. This is the future of Hollywood here. They have a lot of things going for them.
They should be made aware of that too. I would assume that somebody making a film like this knows who David Crowley is. So I would be suspect if they don't shout him out.
I don't believe so. I think there are a lot of.
As far as that movie,
No.
the American public wasn't ready to see
I agree.
actual evil going on. And
Yeah.
they murdered it, in my opinion, and his daughter and his wife. I'm gonna simmer down now. Just
I'm
that.
getting some feedback. I'm getting a little feedback.
So I would hope it happens. Oh, are
Yeah.
you getting feedback?
Well, I'm actually working on a David Crowley song that's going to be on Death to the New World Order. And if I have time to write a comic, at least a couple pages, it's going to make it into the new Tales of Terror. So, you know, David Crowley is entering the chat in the Coffins comics universe. So hopefully that'll
That
drum
kinda
up some
fits right
interest.
in.
It really does.
Doesn't it fit right in? I mean, with the whole blood writing on the wall. I mean,
Right.
I read Tales of Terror, and you look at everything that you have done here with Tales of Terror, and you think, well, how does David Crowley not fit into that? How does this?
Right, he's kind of a new chapter, really, because I mean, he had the Bohemian Grove Owl whole play set, you know, like maybe he was like, there was going to be a Bohemian Grove cremation of care scene, and that might have been like, you know, one of the like models that he was using for like a cinematic overhead, or maybe burning it down or something that was going to be in the film, you know. So yeah, it's all part of like this same Bohemian Grove secret societies, martial law, New World Order storyline. So I love, having the outlet of like Sacred Owls in order to kind of, make it like, because I'm not going to do a rock opera, I'm not going to like write a Broadway play, like, but like if I can like write songs about this stuff and I enjoy playing them, and then we can make the music videos, it's just echoing over and over. People that have ever heard Sacred Owls, they know who Paul Benassi is now. They know who Ted Gunderson is. Like they know the zeitgeist. They know all these things were an inside job from our song Inside Job. So, and with your songs on like False Flags from Greg Fernandez Jr. and stuff, I would love to see some more of that now, because we have plenty of stuff to be writing about, and I think that's kind of why I'm bringing Sacred Owls back now after government sponsored terrorism. That was 2017, and then we did the Tales of Terrors, and actually that was 2016, and 2017 and 2019 were the Tales of Terrors. So it's been almost five years, since the last thing from Sacred Owls. And so much has happened. COVID happened, and then we had our film Live from the Lockdown, because we couldn't even like have a tour that year because of COVID. We couldn't, we almost got busted by the cops just playing a live stream. It's like right when we were starting to do all these things, our society pretty much got taken away from us, and it's taken years to get to where we are. People are still wearing masks. Now there's the new thing. There's the bird flu, and all these things, and people are wearing masks again. It's at work today. A guy had the sniffles, and they're like, "Oh, well, if you still have the sniffles tomorrow, wear a mask." And I gave him the stare of death. I'm like, we're not bringing that here. We're not bringing that back. If I have a fucking runny nose, I'm not wearing a fucking mask to work. Or you can go fuck your. I'll work remote if that's. I work across the street, but we got to draw these lines. We're not doing this shit again. We're not going to lock down. We're not going to do any of that shit.
Yeah, Trump is not. He's not doing that.
Let's do it, Jen Psaki. Circle back.
Circle back.
That's right.
There ain't going to be any more lockdowns. There ain't going to be any more of that stuff. And it just seems like they have nothing else, nothing left. But it's so crazy to think that there may be some good people out there.
Yeah.
Good-hearted people.
Right.
Who really love this country, who really love you, who really want to protect you, and they really believe this stuff.
Right.
This is why we have, and this is what I learned researching this last shooting with Trump. Like, there were people that really thought we need to take out Trump until somebody tried to take him out. Then they were like, whoa, okay, maybe we don't need, maybe that's, we'll take him out, but it's not that type of take him out. It was so interesting to see the response. To me, this was the big, and even for my book, this is the changing moment here.
It's a paradigm shift entirely.
Yeah, something happened there.
I honestly believe they could have stole it successfully like they did with Biden if he didn't get shot. Because look at the chain of events right after. That's when Elon jumped on. That's when RFK jumped on. That's when he got the support of, just all fucking Zuckerberg was like, that's the most badass shit I've ever seen. Like, that was huge for, because I've been kicked off of Facebook, haven't tried to get back on in years and years. But like a lot of these people, they're still in the metaverse. They're still on Instagram and Facebook, and that's where they're getting everything from. So like, we don't exist anymore. I mean, I take it back. They won't let us take off our profile. We just look like losers that haven't done anything in years. We should be able to fucking sue them for that. But no, we signed our lives away putting our content on their social media platforms. So, for all new content creators and artists and stuff, like, think about that and tread carefully, because that's what happens. You post all this content onto these platforms like YouTube and like Facebook and all these things, and one day they could just kick you out of your house that you built and lock the door behind you, and then they can say that they are you. They could, because that's pretty much what they're doing by not letting me log back in and remove things or take down my stuff. Because, all right, you're going to kick me off. I don't want my stuff. I don't want people to go over there thinking that, like, oh, I guess Sacred Owls broke up in 2017, and because they haven't posted anything, they're dead. They died. I don't know.
But this is where a good lawyer can come into play to say somebody's echoing.
That's not me.
Not you.
It's a ghost.
No. Maybe me. I don't know. Okay, but
Mike, I don't deserve this.
I haven't touched anything.
Yeah, I think it's you.
let me try to move this. Okay. Okay. So, I mean, this is where a good lawyer could come in and just say, hey, look, these people did not agree. Because YouTube, they changed.
Hold on for a sec, Greg. Hold on for a sec. There's some weird. You guys hear that?
I hear something.
Okay, so I'll mute. If it still goes, then
I don't think it's Eric because you muted yourself and I still hear it.
Now you mute Greg.
Let me turn you down a scotch on my phone here. If that works. Okay, there we go.
I hear Christian and I hear both of you, but when I'm
Back again.
yeah.
Interesting. And really,
It was right when we started talking about Facebook too, man.
right? There's 5 people watching. I mean, you get 10 watching about your regular left versus right. And myself, DarkDox are on. There's 5 people. I mean, you're getting shadow banned too. TikTok, you spoke about the metaverse.
I've been shadow banned. I've actually watched where I've had videos that had 20, 30 plays, and then I go back the next day and they have like 10. It's like,
right.
How did I lose 10?
We've literally had more comments than views on multiple videos from time to time. Yeah, there's no way. And it never catches. They're like, oh, it'll catch up. And it's like, no. And why isn't it in real time? Like,
no. This used to be 301. I used to call this 3001, where when I first started doing videos on YouTube, it would reach 301 and it would stop right there. Every time.
I think I've had the 301. Yeah.
301. And then when you started talking about the 301, then it would go on. But now this is even worse, where like I'll go back and I'll see a video that I liked from somebody else's video, and it shows me that I didn't like it. So
Hmm.
they're taking away likes, they're taking away subscribes because I looked at other videos. I'm like, I've been subscribed to Eric's channel for many times, and I'll have to go and resubscribe. Things like that, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, come on.
The important thing
So
to do is, and it's a real pain in the ass, is just to diversify and just upload your shit like the same video with the same everything to Rumble, to BitChute, to YouTube, and then cut it up and then put it into TikTok Shorts and YouTube Shorts, and just like keep and then compare the how it's performing, and you'll see Rumble will give you the best. Like more people are going to be looking at it on Rumble, but they're getting less traffic. Make it make sense. Obviously, YouTube, we're probably getting tons of views and tons of, but like it won't show it because like all that matters is like the after the fact count, and if it didn't perform a certain amount, that's it. It doesn't make it onto the trending or the feed or any of that stuff. So
right, and it I don't know. It all goes back to
The
just
owl.
how the algorithm,
The owls.
the owl.
the algorithm.
And there's factions within the elites. There's the owls, and what is the other one? It's the owls versus the.
I mean, there's a bunch. I mean, you got, first of all, there's 13 bloodlines of the Illuminati, and so there's all those families and how they're all fighting for each other, but and against each other and for supremacy. But yeah, then you have like the clubs like the Bohemian Club. You have the Order of the Golden Dawn. You have of course, the Freemasons, and there's the Scottish Rite, and there's all these other Freemasons. You got the what are the little hat guys? They ride around in the little cars.
Oh, right.
You got the what are the Moose Lodge, and you got all those fucking guys, and it's all compartmentalized. And at the end of the day, it's all just like various sects of Luciferianism and other occult teachings and things. And
Wasn't it specifically? It was the owls, and then you had this. Was it the snakes? It was the owls versus the snakes.
oh, I don't know about the snakes. I mean, I'm sure some of them are serpentine.
Right. Millie Weaver. I just remembered the InfoWars reporter that I.
Ah, Millie. That name sounds familiar. I don't know.
Right.
Not definitely hasn't been there in a long time, but I remember the name. Yeah.
And again, that's as you were talking about the metaverse, the programming, where I'm over on TikTok a lot, so I see that programming, and I see a lot of Millie Weaver over there.
Interesting.
You don't do YouTube anymore, correct? You don't even bother to do shows on YouTube.
That's what I'm doing now. Like this is the first one that I'm actually simulcasting on the Sacred Owls channel over here, and I'm on Greg's. And I'm gonna start being available on the internet. I'm gonna probably start with YouTube because it seems to be working just fine. But I want to also like multicast, simulcast also on X. They're starting to do that. They kicked me off of TikTok, so I'm not even gonna fucking bother.
I don't think YouTube is the best. I don't do it very often either because I get banned almost like that.
Right.
Say one thing, which that's kind of.
That's all I do, yeah. It's only a matter of time. But I figure I'm going to drum this up and get kicked off and make a big deal about it, and then maybe send it over to InfoWars, and maybe they'll have me on Band.video eventually. Because they're a great platform, and it's very solid. Like, those videos always play, and they honestly need some new talent. So, like, I'm going to kind of get my shit together so I'm presentable to be a regular correspondent now. We'll see.
You saying X?
Yeah, we're on X, and I'm going to post this over there also.
I've never tried to broadcast on there, so it's similar to this.
I haven't tried it yet, but I saw that there's an option for live, so I want to try it.
When you get on here, do you normally use StreamYard or do you download software to do?
So this is Greg invited me onto the StreamYard, and we've done a couple of them, and I like that one for the free platform and stuff. Right now, I'm actually just over on my laptop. I'm using OBS Studio, and then that's just going straight into YouTube. So I just need to figure out a way. I'm pretty sure I could be using StreamYard, on my laptop, and then having that as a window and then setting up lower thirds and stuff. I didn't mess around with that today. And I also got a green screen, so I want to like chroma key and do some fun stuff with that too. You know, this is only the beginning.
Right? Or the beginning of the end.
The end of the beginning, I don't know. It's really it's like chapter 4 of I don't know how many chapters.
Oh, man, this is fun. I wasn't even expecting to come on. But I was
Nice.
listening on the way home from work. I was listening to you guys talk, and like, oh, talk to DarkDox, please.
Right on. Cool, man. Well, yeah, definitely. I'll give you my contact information, and if you're around to like jump on these things, I'm looking to do this time slot pretty much. Like I said, 7, maybe. I'm feeling like maybe 7 to 9. Maybe it might be 7 to 8. Maybe 8 to 9. We'll see what like works the best. And yeah, but like yeah, I'm gonna have a bunch of regular guests and people like Greg, and then there's Brendan and Noah, and I want to bring Emmy Frost back on. She's always lots of fun. She's an amazing satanic ritual abuse survivor. Her dad was a Hollywood B actor and spy back in the 1960s, and she was trafficked by white supremacists, neo-Nazi punk rockers in New York City in the 80s, and she has all the fucking stories, So we want to have her on. We did like 5 or 6. There's probably about 9 hours of Emmy Frost interviews that are audio only. So like it'd be cool to have her, video and like do a nice production and stuff and all of that because she's a really interesting woman. But yeah, we got some really great people in the DarkDox archive. Lots of great stories and stuff. So we want to bring them on and tell their stories and be correspondents and stuff for like current events and all that kind of stuff as well. I think DarkDox, our niche is, mostly like we are, a lot of like people that are either survivors or adjacent to satanic ritual abuse or sexual abuse or like, any of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, anybody that's listening that, has a story to tell, like I would love to have them on. I'll interview anybody. I like talking to everybody. So, this is fun.
And you're open to other people interviewing you too.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, like, it's like who's interviewing who, like we're all kind of just interviewing each other. It's fun like that.
Yeah, no, it's great.
And it takes the pressure off, because like being an interviewer, like Joe Rogan or something like that, like,
Howard Stern.
ugh, I no, I like to take in the back seat and it's like, oh, you plug your things and I'm learning, I'm listening, and then you can ask me questions about what I'm doing, and I think that's a more.
I have a question for you, Joe. What was his name? He was in the military. Joe. He got in trouble. Got kind of on the sauce. Joe from InfoWars. Sergeant Joe.
Oh, Joe Biggs.
Yeah, Joe Big.
Oh, Oath Keepers, yeah.
I had some interactions with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
curious.
I got some questions about Joe Biggs.
I've never met him personally. Like I met what's his name? Enrique Tario from the Proud Boys. We actually hung out and they were doing a free January 6th political prisoners rally. It was like Proud Boys and Oath Keepers and stuff. And Seminole County at the courthouse and jail because Joe Biggs was there. He was being transported somewhere else. So that was really interesting. You can pull that if you look up DarkDox Proud Boys, you'll probably find that. And that whole crew, it's very interesting because they get a lot of hate, and the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers, and I mean, from what I've seen, they're all just kind of like, they're there with their wives and their kids, and like everyone's very peaceful, everyone's very diplomatic. I can't imagine them, any of them, the people that I met anyway, engaged in any kind of criminal activity. Because you hear a lot of stuff like violent crimes involving Proud Boys, and of course, every organization that's, I mean, first of all, it was founded by Gavin McInnes from, co-founder of Vice, and he's regular on Infowars from time to time.
Well, it only takes a couple of right. It only takes a couple of really bad people within there to give the entire organization a bad name.
Right, and who were they working for? Like maybe they were crazy or this or that, or like, but also like, I mean, I've been part of grassroots activist organizations since 1996, all the way back to like Food Not Bombs and stuff. And every single time, once you have a group of people in the real world that meet in like a public place on a regular basis, once you have like at least like 5 or 6 members, a spook is going to show up. Somebody, we had people, this one woman that we found that she was working for Mossad. We had this other guy who was working for the State Department during our In the Fed protests. And they're always going to be the ones that are like, hey, yeah, you guys are really cool. I like all the stuff you're saying. You want to like burn some cop cars? You want to, like, they'll start, trying to get you to, they radicalize you. They try to get you to do illegal activity, and then they bust you for their FBI 6-week cycle, whatever it is, to get more funding. Your volume's kind of low, Greg.
By the way, you guys missed the whole you're racist thing because you said spooks. DarkDox.
Hey, my fiance is black. I get away with murder now. I can say all kinds of stuff. So.
Racist. That's the TikTok again metaverse that I'm in, which I would like to get out of a little more.
You can't say spooks on TikTok, because I'm talking. When I say spooks, I'm talking about like a spy.
I know.
Okay, just so we know, yeah.
These people don't know that.
Like it's a no agenda thing, is what it is. The Adam Curry outfit, like they have Spot the Spook and like all that. Like so, if you listen to No Agenda, it should roll off your tongue,
Right.
Okay, is this any better?
Yeah, you're a little louder now.
Yeah, you're good.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, you're loud. You're good. Yeah,
I don't deserve this microphone. That's the one.
that's a nice one.
I don't. I'm
I got one of these. I look like I'm doing ASMR. I want you to close your eyes.
It's like at a rave.
I've actually seen this same mic. It's like the $12, USB, but it's kind of cool. Turn it on and off, and has a little volume control on the bottom. I like it. It sounds good for a $12 microphone. I mean, that's not what you're hearing though. They're hearing that on the Sacred Owls channel. This is just my cell phone. Like, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Now I gotta look up who the owls were versus. Still listen to that.
Yeah. I'm curious if like the snakes or whatever, like does the Gadsden flag, the Don't Tread on Me flag, like was that a part of it? Because I know like
It was specific species of animals. Owls versus. I thought it was the snakes.
Oh, okay.
I'll look it up though, because I use different search engines.
There you go.
See if I can find it.
See what they say on Yandex.
Yandex. I've never used that one.
Oh, that's the Russian one. That's like where you find all like the weird like child sex trafficking horrible things. All the weird code words and shit that like you can't find it on Google, but if you look it up on Yandex, there it is. They're little fucking portals and scumbags. Yeah.
Right. Let me make sure I'm not sharing while I'm looking at certain stuff.
Clear browser history, all time.
It goes way back to the 12 bloodlines, and then there was actually 6 that were split. It was the owls versus. You guys talk about anything other than that while I look it up.
Duran Duran was neither a Duran or a Duran. Discuss.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
So you know.
Okay.
Yeah. You sound better now. Yeah.
Okay.
You're back to your original form.
but that was an interesting name. That name, and there was a boxer named Duran.
Hmm.
Eric may know who that boxer was.
Alberto Duran.
Who?
Alberto Duran.
Okay, so there was a famous boxer. We were like, oh, maybe we came from him. Maybe we came from him. And then we found out, no, both of my mom's parents were criminals. Were in jail, and they were all bad people. And then even years later, when my mom, did because I told her not to do the DNA testing and all that stuff, and of course she still did it and everything. Until she found out who her family was, she tried to reconnect them. They wanted nothing to do with her, and then we found out they were all criminals or past criminals, or they had been involved in crime and everything. And I was like, Mom, this is God telling you, don't be involved with these people.
Yeah.
It's very sad. And you know what? I would be sad too. Like if I,
Yeah.
I don't know what your guys' relationship is with your mom and your dad. My relationship with my mom and my dad is really good. But
Yeah.
picture if it wasn't good. I mean, picture if
Right.
you didn't know who they were. And
Couldn't
it's
imagine. Yeah.
traumatizing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like my dad died when I was 9, so I had like a little window. I got a glimpse of like his life and like that experience. And then yeah, I actually take care of my mom's elderly now, and I'm kind of her primary caregiver. So we've grown.
Do you care to share how he died, or
He had prostate cancer, and yeah, it came in fast and violent, and yeah, a funny story. He passed away a couple days before my 9th birthday, and because like you have to do, if you're gonna have like a casket, you have to do it like within 3 days. So it just so happened that his funeral was on my 9th birthday, which was 9/11/91, the same day that George Herbert Walker Bush gave his Gulf War speech. That is, it's a big idea, New World Order, where the law of man, not the jungle. Same day. And then 9 years later to the day was 9/11/2001. So like that was that 9/9/18th birthday. 9/11, man, it's been following me my whole life, even before 9/11.
wow?
I think that's so many of us. That again with Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Getting this. How long's it been, Greg? It's gotta been 12, 13 years for both of us.
Eric, I think you're echoing.
Let me mute.
Yeah.
All right. Since it's 10:30, I'm gonna stop the Sacred Owls stream.